Hello and welcome to my 74th water review for YouTube. Today is Friday, July 5th, 2019, and for this week I'll be doing another Russian water. I'll be reviewing Essentuki. Essentuki is again from the same region as last week's water, Narzan Silver, down in the south of Russia near the border with Georgia. And they do source from a similar area, mountainous area with lots of natural springs. However, in the case of Essentuki, the mineral composition that they're sourcing their water from, it has some therapeutic properties, and they do actually have a study talking about the different therapeutic nature of Essentuki water on the NIH website, which is quite interesting. However, I wasn't able to access it to see what they had to say about it. I just saw that they had a study about it. However, other than that, I just could not find any information. They don't have a product website that's available in my area. If you do happen to have access to Essentuki's website, please link it in the comments below, because I wasn't able to find really any information that was useful about the company, the products, the history, anything at all. So that was kind of unfortunate and a little disappointing. I was able to find a good amount of information about Narzan, and they did have their website available in Canada, which was nice. But for Essentuki, I just couldn't find anything other than that study. So not a whole lot to say there. And now we'll move on to bottle design and materials. And just like Narzan, the bottle design and materials are very high quality, very beautifully and classy design of this really nice label and bottle overall. They went with, again, this dark green glass bottle and this lovely metal cap with a gold color to it, and then they have a green Essentuki logo printed onto the top there with the Essentuki eagle, and it says 1811, which I'm assuming is when this company was established. On the front, they mentioned this is Essentuki No.4. What that means, no idea. I saw that on one of the articles about the company. They mentioned that there were some other numbered Essentuki waters, so maybe they have different therapeutic properties, but I'm not entirely sure since I couldn't find a company website. Other than that, on their label on the front, it's very nice. Again, very classy with this lovely green, gold, and white color scheme. They have, again, the eagle here at the top, and then Essentuki written here in Cyrillic with a lovely landscape picture of the mountainous area where they source the water from. They have some more writing in Cyrillic, which I can't read. And then on the back, just like with Narzan, they have this incredibly compact, jammed mineral table description of the water. I'm not entirely sure what they have here, but they have a ton of writing all throughout here, talking about a bunch of different stuff. So it is, again, very crowded on the back, and again, I can't read it. But overall, I really do like the design. The materials are excellent. The logo label is completely glued on. It is made out of paper, so it is wrinkling a bit, and there are some tearing along the corners, but it is nicely glued all the way around, which is excellent. And just overall, a really nice, classy design with excellent materials. I also like that they've embossed Essentuki into the bottom here. I think that's really nice. They didn't have any sort of interesting bottle shape like with Narzan Silver, but this design is still quite classy indeed. Now we'll move on to taste and nose, and typically with these therapeutic waters, you get some interesting taste and nosing notes. This is a carbonated water. I'm not sure if it's naturally carbonated or artificially carbonated, although in the mineral table I was able to pick out a few things, and they did mention that there's a little bit of boric acid in the water, so maybe that gives the therapeutic nature of the water, or maybe that gives it its carbonation. I'm not entirely sure, but other than that, this is a very highly mineralized water. There's 13 to 1900 ppm of chloride. There's also 100 to 150 ppm plus of both calcium and magnesium, as well as sodium, and then there's 2,000 to 3,000 ppm of potassium, and again, as I mentioned, a little bit of boric acid as well, which is very interesting. But now we will see, how does Essentuki taste and smell? Well, it looks like the normal color, which is good. It poured a little almost thicker than I would have expected. Now on the nose. On the nose really reminds me of like standing near an ocean, like in an oceanside town. You get these salt water notes, and then you also get this sort of stone smell to it, which is probably from all those hard minerals that they have in the water, like the potassium and the magnesium and calcium. And then you get sort of a mossy vegetation note as well. So you get this almost oceanside smell on the nose. Now, in terms of taste, the mouthfeel, it does have a slight bit of carbonation, but it's not a very strong carbonation. It's certainly not as strong as I would like from a carbonated water. The mouthfeel is also very weird. It's thicker than a typical water. I don't know why. Maybe it's from all the minerals. It doesn't say there's a huge amount of salt. Maybe there's something written. I saw in the mineral table there's a few more ingredients that are written in Cyrillic, so I can't read those. So maybe there's something like one of those minerals or additives that's giving it this strange, almost syrupy, thick mouthfeel. It's not as thick as a syrup, but it's definitely thicker, or at least feels thicker than a typical water. And then you get those notes I mentioned that you get on the nose. So you get a little bit of saltiness, not a huge, strong saltiness, but then you get that really strong, almost limestoney taste to it. It's like you're licking a piece of limestone. It's such a strong flavor. And then you get like kind of a mossy vegetation note as well. Not a lot of very likable or agreeable notes in terms of taste and nose. Typically for a carbonated water, I like those nice citrus notes, the sour, maybe a little bit of saltiness, but in this case, these bitter vegetation and hard limestone notes that I'm getting really aren't the most enjoyable overall, but they're certainly very unique and maybe therapeutic according to the website and that study possibly. But overall, I'm not really a huge fan of the taste. Maybe if you're really looking for a therapeutic water, you could try this out, but I don't know how much that's really going to help you overall. So in terms of final score for company history and interestingness, unfortunately, I couldn't find anything to judge their company history and interestingness on. I found very small amounts of information online about it, but nothing official from Essentuki. So again, if you know the website's link, please link it in the comments down below. Maybe it's just that I don't have access to it or Google isn't showing it to me, but really no company history or interestingness to note, so I'm giving them 0.25 out of 2.5 points. In terms of bottle design and materials, the bottle design and materials are very excellent. The materials are made of really nice high quality glass and metal as well. The label is nicely glued on, and really beautiful and classy design for the label and even the cap and bottle as well, with this nice logo on the cap and then the nice embossings along the bottom here of the bottle. The only things I'd really change are that the label is a bit easy to rip because it's made out of paper, so maybe cover it in a wax or like a plastic to protect it. And then on the back, it's really just way too busy on the back here. They need to put less information. I understand, I think it might be being translated into multiple languages, which is an issue, but honestly, I think that they could have a little bit more distinct mineral table on here somewhere, and then maybe take off a language or something. So overall, I really do like the bottle design and materials, and they get 2 out of 2.5 points. In terms of taste and nose, it certainly is a very unique taste and nose. And while it isn't my favorite, it may be yours. You'll have to give it a try. And maybe if you're looking for some interesting therapeutic properties that may come from this water, then you could also give it a try. Maybe you'll see some effects, but really the taste isn't for me. I really don't enjoy it, and I don't think many people will enjoy it. So I can only give them 1 out of 4 points. Now, in terms of value, this half-liter bottle costs $2 at a local Eastern European grocery store, which is quite expensive for a half-liter bottle. I understand it's coming from Eastern Europe, so it is kind of a long journey, and they are probably a very small company, so they do have to charge a bit more, but honestly, unless you're looking for those therapeutic properties that may come from the water, I just can't justify that high price tag. You're better off going with something a bit more enjoyable in terms of taste, and maybe one that you know a little bit more about the company. So in terms of value, I can really only give them 1/4 of a point. Tallying it all up, they unfortunately only get 3.5 out of 10 points. This certainly could have been bumped up a lot if I had been able to access their company website, but maybe they don't have one. Maybe I just don't have access to it. I'm not sure. But really that hurt them a lot. And then I'm just not a huge fan of these therapeutic water tastes and the general mineral composition of these waters. So 3.5 out of 10, not the best, but it's really hard to recommend this water overall. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my review of Essentuki No.4 carbonated mineral water from Russia. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below which waters you'd like me to review next. I have, again, some more interesting European waters coming up over the next couple weeks. And then we will move on to maybe coconut waters. I'm not entirely sure yet, but please like and subscribe, comment down below, and share with all your friends as well. And I will see you next Friday for my next water review. Thank you.